Alright, what we're going to do now is section 1.4, which works with measuring with angles. Alright, first we need to know what an angle is. Alright, an angle is formed by two rays that have the same end point. So your rays are called your sides of your angle, and the end point is called the vertex. So if you look over here at our angle, we have a ray AB and we have a ray AC. Those are your sides, and your vertex is that point right there, is A. Now, to name an angle, you got three options. You can name it by its vertex. We use our angle symbol here, so vertex A. Or you can name it by 3 points, so angle BAC or angle CAB. And your third option is to name it by a number that's inside your angle, like angle 1. So those are your three options for naming an angle: the vertex, 3 points, or the number. So let's practice naming an angle. We're looking for angle KML. So we're looking for this angle in here. Alright. So the first option is naming by your vertex, which is angle M. Now, let's talk about angle M. Now, is M a vertex only for this angle? Or is M a vertex for other angles also? Well, yeah. M's also a vertex for this angle, JMK. It's also a vertex for angle JML. So, this option right here is not a good option when you're naming an angle when that vertex is used more than once. Okay, we don't want it if it's used more than once. So let's go with our other ones. Let's name it with 3 points. Instead of KML, we can go angle LMK. And our third option is to name with our numbers. And number 2 is inside there, so we can also name this angle 2. Awesome. Now, angles have measures, all right? And we can say that they have a measure of an angle, or we can use this little letter M. And this is what we're going to be using. Instead of writing out measure of angle, it takes too long. We're going to use this little M here to know we're going to talk about the measure of angle COD. Now, we got some special angle measures. An angle is acute if it measures between 0 and 90 degrees. An angle is right if its measure equals exactly 90 degrees. An angle is obtuse if it's somewhere between 90 and 180 degrees. And an angle is straight if it equals exactly 180 degrees. All right, so let's do some angle measures. So we're looking for the measure of angle LKN. Alright, so LKN. We're looking from here all the way around. Alright, now when you get here, you notice that this one, you got two options. You got from 30 to 40, let's guesstimate that's 35, or 150 to 140, let's guesstimate 145. Which one's the right answer? It's 145. Good job, because this one is what type of angle? It's obtuse. Awesome. Alright, next question. What about the measure of angle JKL? Alright, so I'm going to get rid of my arc. Here we go. JKL. So I'm wanting to know how far is it from here to here. Well, this one is at 90 at J, and L we said was again is either 35 or 145. Doesn't matter, because the distance between 35 to 90, that's 55, or the difference from 145 to 90 is 55. So it doesn't matter which one you use there. It's 55 degrees. Since this is less than 90, this is an acute angle. Alright, last one on here. The measure of angle JKN. Alright, so JKN. So I'm looking from J to N. Well, that one from here to here is exactly 90 degrees. So this makes this what kind of angle? Right. Awesome. Alright, angles. can be congruent, which means that they're also going to have the same measure. All right, so we can say that the measure of angle J equals the measure of angle K, which is just like saying 35 equals 35, right? Or we can say angle J is congruent to angle K, which means they have the same measure. So synchronized swimmers, lovely synchronized swimmers we just had in the Olympics, all right, they form angles with their bodies as shown in this photo. So we've got some angles in here. The measure of angle GHJ equals 90 degrees. Well, let's find that. There's GHJ. Right here is 90 degrees. And I want to know, what is the measure of angle KLM? Well, here's KLM, right down here. Now notice, this has two arcs, and the measure of angle KLM has two marks. That lets me know that these two are congruent angles. So the measure of angle KLM is also 90 degrees. All right, one more on here. If the measure of angle ABC equals 49 degrees, so here's ABC, so this one's 49, what is the measure of angle DEF? Well, again, notice this has one arc and that has one arc, so we know that they are congruent. The measure of angle DEF is also 49 degrees. Rock on. Alright, last concept. We did segment addition postulate. Now we're going to do the angle addition postulate. Alright, so if B is in the interior of angle AOC, so B is on the inside, then the measure of angle AOB plus the measure of angle BOC equals the measure of angle AOC. That makes sense? If I do my blue angle plus my orange angle, I'm going to get my big angle. Alright, so let's look here. We have three angles in this picture. We have two little ones and they make up a bigger one. Let's see if we can name them. Alright, the measure of angle DEC plus the measure of angle CEF is going to equal the measure of angle DEF. Now we can substitute in the measure of angle DEC. That's 11x minus 12. Plus the measure of angle CEF. That's 2x plus 10. Equals the measure of angle DEF. Well, that doesn't tell us in our picture. So let's see if our question will tell us. We know that the DEF is a straight angle. Well, straight angle, we know what that means. That means it equals 180 degrees. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish this problem out. Since 11x and 2x are on the same side, I'm going to combine them. That's going to give me a 13x. I have a minus 12 plus 10 on the same side. That's going to give me a minus 2 equals 180. Next up, add 2 to both sides, and that gives me a 13x equals 182. Divide both sides by 13, and I get that x equals, what is that? How many times 13 going to 18? Anyone? Yeah, one time, with a remainder of 5. So we'd have a 52, and 13 goes into 52 4 times. So I know that x is 14. Let's make sure we answer our question. We're looking for our angle measures, okay? So let's substitute 14 in. 11 times 14 minus 12. 11 times 14 is 154. Minus 12 is 132. Alright, and then here, 2 times 14 plus 10. 2 times 14 is 28. Plus 10 is 38 degrees. So, I can always check my work as well. I'm going to finish my angle addition postulate, and let's see. Does 132 plus 38 equal 180? No, it doesn't, because I made a mistake, and I know that because I checked my work. Anybody know where my mistake was? right there. It should have been 142. And if I hadn't have checked my work, I would have missed my problem. So that's 142. So now I know I've got the right stuff. So it's really important you always check your work. Because now I know I'm right. All right, y'all have a good night. I'll see you later.